Welcome to the Deep Dives. I'm Nathan.
And I'm Sarah.
We are so glad you joined us for this video here on Tech Talk Central. Today, we are wading directly into one of the biggest battles in the 2025 TV landscape.
Yep. It's Sony Mini LED versus Samsung Neo QLED.
Okay, let's unpack this. You shared sources detailing the features of two 65-inch 4K models, the Samsung Q&80F and the Sony Bravia 5K 65 XR50.
Exactly. And our mission today is to cut through all that marketing jargon, QLED, Mini LED, AI Gen 2 XR processor, and really get to the essential differences.
So you can understand which tech actually fits your viewing or your gaming needs.
We have two 2025 4K models, and both use these tiny LEDs for backlight control.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Even though they both use mini LEDs, they have very different focuses, especially when it comes to color processing and console gaming.
Let's start with the fundamental technology then. Both sets leverage mini LEDs, which allow for that increased contrast and extra brightness.
All because of those thousands of concentrated precision-controlled zones. Now, Samsung calls its technology Neo QLED. What's fascinating here is that Neo QLED essentially combines that mini LED backlighting with Samsung's quantum dot color layer.
Right, the QLED part, it promises, incredibly vivid color and really intense contrast.
On the Sony side, with the Bravia 5, the focus is a bit different. It's purely on the management of those LEDs.
That's right. Sony uses what they call the XR backlight master drive to precisely control thousands of those mini LEDs.
And the goal there is what? More authentic contrast.
Authentic contrast, deep blacks, and dazzling highlights. This is their method for achieving that captivating brightness without, say, light bleeding into the dark parts of the image.
So while both are using mini LEDs, Samsung is really emphasizing the color volume with QLED.
And Sony is emphasizing the precision of the backlight control system, that XR backlight master drive. It's a subtle but really important distinction.
So what does this all mean for the actual picture? I mean, it often comes down to the processor, right?
It absolutely does. The brains of the operation.
Samsung is rocking the NQ4 AI Gen 2 processor.
And their processing claim is notable. It uses AI with the power of, get this, 20 neural networks to enhance the picture quality up to 4K clarity.
20? That sounds like a big number.
It is, and it's definitely a marketing point.
Yeah.
But it also intelligently transforms standard dynamic range, or SDR, content into something that looks more like HDR.
So it's making old content pop more.
Brighter highlights, more vibrant colors. It's actively trying to remaster content on the fly.
Okay, so on the Sony side, we have the XR processor, also with AI technology.
Right, but they talk about it differently. They use things like XR Clear Image and AI to upscale all your HD and digital content.
And the aim is bringing back lost detail for a crystal clear picture.
Exactly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, both companies are relying heavily on AI to fill in the missing details from lower res content.
But Samsung is selling the raw power, the 20 networks.
While Sony is highlighting the end result, blur-free action with XR motion clarity and just a very lifelike picture quality. It's power versus refinement in a way.
Let's talk about color and audio, which really define that whole cinematic experience.
Good idea.
Samsung features Neo Quantum HDR and promises theatrical multi-dimensional sound. They call it Object Tracking Sound Light, or OTS Light.
And it has Dolby Atmos support, so the idea is that the sound moves around and even above you, following the action on screen.
So Sony takes a slightly different approach on the color front. They're using what's called XR Triluminos Pro,
which is their technology to access billions of accurate, real-world colors. But critically for movie buffs, the Sony Bravia 5 explicitly includes support for Dolby Vision
and IMAX Enhanced,
alongside Dolby Atmos and DTS:X. That Dolby Vision part is a huge deal for many people.
Because Samsung doesn't support it.
Correct. They have their own standard HDR10 plus Westo, which is great, but Dolby Vision is sort of the industry heavyweight that many streaming services and studios have standardized on.
Sony also includes a unique feature here: access to the Sony Pictures Core app.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. It gives you movie credits and unlimited streaming on a bunch of classic movies for 12 months.
Plus, they offer studio-calibrated picture modes,
which are designed specifically for Netflix, Prime Video, and that Sony Pictures Core service.
It ensures that what you're seeing looks exactly as the creators intended.
So if you prioritize those standardized high-end HDR formats like Dolby Vision and you really care about creator intent, the Sony Bravia 5 has a very clear focus.
Both offer immersive sound, though.
Oh, yeah. Sony's is called acoustic multi-audio, and it uses specific side-firing tweeters to place the sound more accurately.
Okay, this is where the choice might become crystal clear for a lot of our viewers. Gaming.
The great gaming divide.
Both are built for smooth, tear-free gaming, but their maximum speeds and ecosystem focus are, well, they're very different.
Very different. Samsung offers elite speeds for VRR gaming at up to 4K 144 Hz. That's a huge number.
It is a significant edge, but the source notes, it requires a PC-connected game that supports those specs, and a dedicated, very powerful PC graphics card.
Right, so it's an amazing feature, but maybe not one everyone can use right out of the box.
Which brings us to Sony's laser focus on the console gamer, specifically PlayStation 5 users.
This is where their strategy really comes into play. The Bravia 5 includes exclusive features for the PlayStation 5.
Things like auto HDR tone mapping and auto genre picture mode.
And these just optimize the picture quality automatically. You plug in your PS5 and the TV knows exactly what to do, no tinkering required.
It also centralizes all the settings in a dedicated game menu, which is super convenient.
So the choice becomes pretty clear. If you're a high-end PC gamer aiming for the absolute highest refresh rate you can get, Samsung's 144 Hz is compelling.
But if you own a PS5 and you just want that seamless, optimized plug-and-play performance,
then the Sony Bravia 5's exclusive features are extremely attractive.
Finally, let's look at how these TVs integrate into your smart home.
The ecosystem question.
The Samsung QN80F runs on Samsung's own smart TV platform, and it has Alexa built in.
It's a clean system, very focused on simplicity.
Its Sony Bravia 5, on the other hand, is a smart Google TV.
Which means extensive integration with Google Assistant and, of course, access to the massive Google TV content library. We're talking 700,000 plus titles.
And for connectivity, it supports both Apple AirPlay 2 and Google Cast.
Right, so it's really easy to stream from pretty much any device, Android or Apple. And while it doesn't have Alexa built in, it does work with Alexa if you have a separate device.
So Samsung leans into its own smart features with that direct Alexa integration.
And Sony provides, I'd say, greater compatibility with both Android and Apple streaming through Google TV and AirPlay 2.
So summing up our deep dive into the 2025 mini LED heavyweights.
Let's do it.
The Samsung Neo QLED QN80F offers that really high-end performance, a massive 144 Hz refresh rate for PC gamers, and its own proprietary Neo Quantum HDR color.
While the Sony Bravia 5K65 XR50 appeals very strongly to console gamers, especially with those PS5 features, and to movie enthusiasts thanks to Dolby Vision and IMAX support.
And of course, to people who prefer that Google TV ecosystem.
This raises a really important question for you, the viewer. Do you prioritize the raw speed potential and processing power of the Samsung?
Or do you prioritize the nuanced, studio-calibrated picture quality and the specific console optimization features offered by Sony?
That brings us to the end of this deep dive comparison. We really hope this gave you the knowledge you need to make an informed choice.
To find the latest prices and deals, be sure to check out the links in the description below.
And if you found this deep dive helpful, please be sure to subscribe to our channel, Tech Talk Central, for more breakdowns of the latest tech.
We'll leave you with one final thought based on the material we reviewed. When considering that 144 Hz capability of the Samsung QN80F, just remember that maximizing that potential requires specific, powerful, and often very expensive PC hardware, making it a future-proof feature, but one that's primarily for the true enthusiast.